Namaste Om. Thank you for rejoining this two-part conclusion. I think it's really important that you get the overall picture of the self-experience and the sharing and the complications of sharing. Which can appear to be negative if not fully understood or experienced or transcripted the way the speaker does in its natural way without trying to adjust or manipulate or gain or have an effect on you, that beautiful being. Now, the second part is important also, to move that sharing into the experiential method or ways or practices or desire of trying to establish something more pure regarding something that is pure and should always be here pure and should always be lived as pure. But of course that's not the way, because purity cannot be seen without something being tarnished, and experience is the moving from one to the other. The idea for all life, whatever we are, is to remove all experiences and remain as that overall essence of experience, that godliness. Part one mentioned the shock and that newborn mind and that having to develop its own language, create its own language that is not connected to an external world. This language is not learned, it's not inherited. It's all sourced from the source. And it's not better than your language or his language or her language or Buddha's language or Hindu's language or Vedanta's language or Upanishads or Sufi or Judaism or Christianity language. It's not any more efficient or beneficial to the world. Only beneficial and efficient to you and your transcending of this, whatever is taking place. This moment of just happenings. The language, it can be seen as a new language, but it can also be seen as that initial existing language, because for the speaker it is far too simple to remain here pure. It's far too simple. So we have to complicate it, make it more complex, more challenging. So the intelligent mind sees the complex, the challenging, that is an improvement from its original simplistic, basic human state. But to the wise, if you listen to the sages, the Upanishads, the Egyptians, the spiritual wise, the sages, they said the simplest is the most pure, natural, wisest way. So samsara, the circle of samsara, doesn't necessarily mean it's going clockwise. It can change direction at any point and go anti-clockwise, and clockwise and anti-clockwise. So there's much contradiction between the intelligent and the wise. There's much contradiction within the wise, appearing to be foolish, appearing to be intellectual, moving from side to side. There's much contradiction with the intelligent, and this is obvious in our intelligent ways. I want to build this house this way. I think it's the most intelligent way to build it, for me. And the developer says, no, I see something more beneficial in this way. And there's some sort of negotiation. And no one really takes responsibility or ownership. And of course, until the compliments come from the family, oh, this is a beautiful house. Well, it's my way, you know. The developer tried to change it, but you know what? I did it my way. Or, this house is not to your benefit. Oh, well, the developer. I try to put it that way, but the developer says no this way. I should not have listened to the developer. Well, this house is okay. Yeah, both me and the developer took ownership. It's not brilliant. It would have been if I had, but they chose to put some equal information towards it, so that it's okay. This is the intelligent circular samsara way. And the wise is no more different. But as promised, this is the teaching. This is what this speaker would like to offer as the most beneficial teaching. Can you take you out of any situation? Can you take meaning out of your life? Can you take purpose out of your life? Can you take methods, ways out of your life? Can you take a planned A to Z manual of how you think it should be done out of your life? Can you remove everything out of your life that has meaning, definition, knowledge, information, assumption, hope, and belief? Can you remove all these attributes? To remove all these attributes, there's a fear. The fear is, I'm losing. I is losing its grip. I is losing that what it inherited, that what it managed to create on its own. That what I inherited. My inheritance of information and being the story of this person is too much to risk. So many enlightened speakers, Eckhart Tolle, one in particular. What has Eckhart Tolle lost? Still knows his name. Still managed to regain what it had before, to make comparisons about what he has now. Still same body, same likenesses, but just something far more sharper, far more present, far more aware. But chose to lose everything. Because overcome the fear. I really don't care. I really don't care enough of this intelligence to keep it all the way to the end. If the end means I go away with nothing, it is very simple to understand that I came with nothing. So therefore, nothing gained, nothing lost. What is it that you've gained? I want to take you to the Word. If you can understand these attributes are just variations of mind, variations of information, conditioned language, culture. They're just fluctuations of temporary noise that will be taken when this body goes. Everything will be taken when this body goes. Every particle of information will be taken when this body goes. Even the certificates, even the CV, which will remain on a wall that you won't know about for your family to look and say, oh, he passed the test. You're not concerned about that. You're concerned about the next test. You want to take the next test empty. You want to take the next test able, pure. I will take you to the Word. We have came so far in intelligence that, just an example, the language in English, which was developed from other languages right back to Sanskrit, it appears to have been developed. It appears to be much more intelligent, much more informative, much more knowledgeable. But what differentiates between words? What differentiates between good and brilliant? Emotional connection, meaning. I understand that brilliant is better sensationally than good, because I've been taught like that. The dictionary of meanings. Through parenting and teaching, I've been told brilliant is much better than good. Words are based on an individual's experience through the emotional and sensory reaction to an event. And then that word is given it some sort of definition. That word is given some sort of definition and is put into the dictionary. 5 or 6 definitions, 5 or 6 experiences, but let's not give more than 5 because we don't want to complicate things and then make all words the same. Because all words arise from the same thing and they eventually go into the same thing. The beginning of the book, there's no words. At the end of the book, many words. When the book is finished, the book is closed. No words. It's a very simple aspect and way of life. When the mind doesn't want a challenge, doesn't want meaning, doesn't want definition, life is simple. But to hell with that. Simple is boredom. I want to offer you these words. It is what it is. These words were vocalized, not just from the mouth, but from a body action. It is what it is. Even the speaker, in its past knowledge of its intelligent world, can describe through an egoistic mind what that appears to mean. It is what it is. That is just what it is. It's an experiential, emotional reaction to something. And that experiential, emotional reaction sets a mind on a journey to try and assume or try and give meaning to that statement. If you say John is just what John is, you know you're speaking about John. When you say I am just what I am, you make assumption that you're speaking about yourself. When you say he is just what he is, there's no need to define or give meaning, because the meaning is you're talking about that one. But when you say it is just what it is, there needs to be more definition. There needs to be more meaning. What are you talking about? It is just what it is. Are you talking about life? Are you talking about the situation? Are you talking about the world? Are you talking about the event in some war-torn country? Are you talking about the pandemic? No, I'm talking about it. What is it? Now we've come to the word. What is it? What is the definition and meaning of word? Then you go to the dictionary and you look to see what the definition and meaning of it is. Or I. Or is. Is fact, isn't it? It is, meaning that what it is trying to explain is. And it's confirmed as it is. It is that what it is. That is just what it is. Who is that you're talking about? You're not talking about yourself. You're not talking about situation. You're talking about a word. It is what it is. It is what it is. That's ridiculous. This is a language. You're not accepting of that intelligent language. It's not an evolution, or it is an evolution for you, the being that has transcended this intelligent world. But it's actually a backward step to the initial language from the sages and all these wonderful, wonderful old saints and witches and I don't know what you call these wise people. It could be the name of God. God is what it is. God is what God is. The wisdom for the speaker comes through the intelligence of the experience. The wisdom is explained to the newborn mind of how the world started, how the universe started. But to describe it using old style intelligence, words, information, is to stifle it. So therefore to describe it is to say, in its wholeness, I'm trying to describe it, but I can't define it to a particular religion, a particular method, a particular practice, a particular understanding, a particular meaning, a particular definition, a particular association. Therefore, it appears to be unknowable, but that what tries to project it absolutely knows it, but cannot find a way to communicate with an intelligent mind about something that is far superior, even before language was born. That what is known was known. That what is knowable in the future is already known. The mind is just moved, expanded to reveal the truth about its whole self. And when it cannot divulge its whole self because it has no communication tools available that can help the small self understand. It has to refrain from being this whole self and extract and know. It's impossible. So the teaching is, take yourself away from the situation. Put the words "it," for example. This is just example. It is as it is. And put them in front of you. And don't give it any definition. Don't give it any meaning. How can you do that, you see? You have to remove the definer. You have to remove that what gives definition. You have to remove that what gives meaning. You have to remove the conditioning. You have to remove the inherited information. You have to remove everything. And that one thing is I. I know. I don't know. I am Graham. I am a body. I am a man. I am not a woman. Who is I? What is I? When that what defines and gives meaning to anything, any thought, any fantasy, any imagination, any word, any experience, anything that makes assumptions, associations, attachments, it feels as if, how can one operate in this world? And you're taken back to your basic, I don't need to speak to urinate. I don't need to speak to eat. I don't need to speak to put my arms around and hug. I don't need to speak to kiss. I don't need to speak to reveal affection and love. I go back to basic, animalistic, beautiful, profound ways. And you know what? The fear is overcome because I am still alive. I can still, if needed, recollect, retain words that really have no meaning or no definition to create anything other than pure life in this world. But if I have to, I can talk. I can use words. I has returned, but the I that was removed is a different I. It's the intelligent, egoistic, circular, samsara I. It has to be thrown or shown the door. And as Rumi in St. Francis Assisi says, I went to the door. The door opened. I was on the other side. A different I. The most profound teaching is to have the insight, the bravery to question that what I am. Not what I purely am, but that what I has been told through a mind of intelligence that thinks it knows what I am. You're denying every single human experience, every single human being, every single human book, every single human religion, spirituality, science, atheism. You're denying to take these words of meaning and definition that are trivial to your next stage. When the body passes and you move into this new beginning with a new mind, a new brain, a new body. You don't know what you're going to be. But inside, you're not going to be anything other than what you are. 100% presence. Because this Teaching can only be done through being completely open to present situations, to the present moment. Past and future are intelligent ways of taking you out of the present moment, sometimes for the good. Everything is looking after you. Fear is that what has to be transcended. Fear can only be transcended by giving fear up. Fear is a word. It's a definition. It's a meaning. It's an association. Fear is that what holds all to a connection to that what is temporary. No more fear. No more teaching. No more sharing. You look at Eckhart Tolle, Mooji. They're the ones that can help remove this I, this me. Take Christ's words, for goodness sake. Utilize them. They're the most simplest, basic words that takes you back to that moment that you left your Father. The Father that you are. When you remove the word God, something remains within that actually exists as a God. What can it be? What can it be? For the speaker is I, the maple, S, the ribbons, consciousness. I and consciousness, stability and movement are one. One with holy, one with whole. Be one. Remove the words. See through these old-fashioned, stale, intelligent, challenging words. And within the words, the most simplest words are taken. And even those words, it, is, and I, are seen through to the wordless place of silence and true consciousness. My battery is about to go flat. So therefore it's time to call it a day. What does that mean to you? What are you going to call? Where is your day? What is day? Information. Information is intelligent. Intelligence is information. Wisdom is beyond. Wisdom is beyond all information and intelligence. Both are valid, but you can only go further into the wise. I love you and have so much good times. Please don't be offended by these words. Remove these words, ignore these words, and allow the words to take you home.